as Mark mentioned, I think the big thing, the message here is really excitement. Really, I mean, growth, expansion, things are going good. In benefits, that's really where Rose Street Advisors comes into play. You know, you get your benefits in terms of, you know, your rate of pay and all the different things you have, your vacation time, all the benefits there. But really, the fringe benefits is what Rose Street Advisors specializes in. So when Roxanne reached out to me, we wanted to kind of get a pulse of really what you were looking to do to really to attract and retain quality employees like all of you here. So today what we're going to do is go through those benefits kind of at I don't know, about a 30,000 foot level, just to kind of give you an idea of what those benefits are. In your packet, and thank you for my packet, by the way. I'm assuming in the packet they have the same thing that I have.
Exactly what you said.
Good. And as Mark mentioned, again, we're looking at a number of different things. In particular, what we're going to talk about today is the group dental plan, the group vision plan, the group short-term disability plan, and of course, then the group life insurance plan. Health insurance may be coming down the pipe, and we'll be talking hopefully more about that in the near future. But in this particular case, we'll focus on the 4 benefits in your package. So if you want to open those up, I'm going to take you through kind of a guided tour of the benefits. And first off, again, hats off to you guys for offering these great benefits here. Yes,
I have
sir.
a quick question. Do you have these available in Spanish?
The majority
Okay,
of
okay.
them,
All right.
not with me right now, but the
Okay.
majority of them we can get.
Okay.
If
That would be great.
Okay,
That'd
yeah,
be great.
we'll make sure we do that. I'll take it slow and easy, and we can kind of go from there. As we go through this, and you have questions, let me know. This is your meeting just as much as it's mine. So I just want to make sure we kind of give you a review of the benefits and how they truly work for you and maybe your family members. So the first part is the Delta Dental handout. This you may or may not have heard of Delta Dental, but they're a premier provider of dental services throughout the nation. We use them a lot. They tend to be really the most broad in terms of network, as well as a good cost beneficial piece as well. So I know there's a lot of paperwork here, but to make it kind of simple, in that dental plan itself, there is a deductible. As Mark mentioned, there might be some cost to you in terms of out of pocket when you access some of these programs. But the design of the plan is a deductible of $50 per individual, and it goes up to $150 if you have family coverage. Even if you have, 20 members in your family, it's still only going to be the $150. So it's times 3 for that single deductible. You get an annual benefit of $1,000, and that's a $1,000 benefit for you and each dependent that's on your plan. So it's not, my family gets $1,000 for dental. No, it's each person gets $1,000 on it, which is a very rich plan. It's designed in what we refer to as a 100%, 80%, 50% plan, and we'll get into that in just a second in this graph as you'll see it. In all these plans, primarily in dental, even in medical, certainly in vision, there's going to be a situation where if you go to providers, doctors, hospitals, dentists, vision people, that are participating or in network, you get a better bang for your buck. So they're not saying you have to see these doctors or you have to see these providers, but to get a better bang for your buck, keep your costs lower, look for providers that are participating with this. For instance, you can see in this plan, I know it is a little confusing, but they'll have 3 categories of providers. And basically, the one to the far left, it'll say Delta Dental PPO Dentist. Ding, ding, ding. That's where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. So when you're looking for a dental provider, if you have a dentist, I would simply talk to your dentist and ask them if they participate with Delta Dental. And they'll know that with a simple phone call. If they do, chances are you're going to get the better rate of benefit there. If they don't, you can still continue to see those dentists or those providers, but it may pay a little bit less. You may have to incur a little more out of your pocket. But you can really see any dentist anywhere, anytime, and you're going to have coverage. better bang for your buck, look for those Delta Dental participating providers, okay? And if you go, let's just focus on that first column there. It's basically set up where you'd have 100% paid benefit for your preventative. So if you're familiar with dental services, you may or may not, but if you go in, usually it's twice a year to get your cleanings, x-rays, things like that. Preventative services, it's covered for free. You don't have to meet your deductible, the $50 I was talking about. It's certainly covered at 100%. So the concept is, gee whiz, go in, get the cleanings, get the x-rays, get them the preventative services covered at no cost to you. It's free. Okay? When you have dental services that you need, I got a cavity, I got to drill it, they got to fill it, it's going to be covered under my minor restorative services. It'll be covered at 80%. That's where my deductible will kick in, $50, and then it's covered at an 80-20. You would be responsible for 20%, Delta Dental will pay 80% of that bill. If you have more involved dental services that you need, major services at the bottom, you need a crown, a root canal, something big, it's covered at 50%. So your deductible, and then you would be responsible for 50% of that bill, and Delta Dental will pay the other 50%. Yes, sir?
The root canal is an endodontic service. Would that be 80% or am I tripping?
That's going to fall under your major down at the bottom, so it gets into your periodontic. So it's a little bit more involved when you're talking about root canals, bridges, things like that. Primarily, like I said, you get a cavity, they got to drill it and fill it. It's going to be covered under your basic services at 50%. Okay? So the design of the plan, once again, is 100% for preventative. Get in, be seen, get those preventative services, no cost to you. If you need some restorative services, minor, or even the major pieces, it is covered with a percentage split. Okay? Make sure I would seek out those providers. Roxanne was so nice enough to include on the back, I know that it gets into a lot of detail, but on the back, you can actually download a Delta Dental application, and then you can personalize that so that you can pull up Delta Dental providers off your app. You can see where you are with your deductible. It gives you all kinds of good information in terms of accessing your dental services, and that's through the personal Delta Dental application that you can download on your phone. Keep in mind the other thing, I should have said this at the beginning. Rose Street Advisors not only goes out and looks for the best benefit plans for our companies, but we also are here to help you, serve you. Doesn't matter if it's the health insurance down the road, or it's a dental question, or a life insurance question, anything like that that we're coordinating, you can contact us directly. You could go to Roxanne if you want, but she may refer them directly to us. So we're on call, standby. We want to make sure if you need to access these benefits, we're here to help you through that maze, if you will, because it does get a little confusing. Gee whiz, Kevin came out, he talked about the benefits, sounded good, but now, 2 months down the road, now I need some services, and I don't remember what he said. You can call Rose Street, we'll help you out. Maybe you get a bill or an issue or something that comes up down the road a year from now. Again, we can help you with that, okay? So we're here to guide you, to help you, to maximize your benefits when you need them, okay? They're expensive. The company's paying for it, thank you very much. But for the most,
Thank you guys. You guys are helping make it happen.
it's great. But we want to make sure it's a good fit for you and it works for you when it's supposed to, okay? So look at the application.
Yes, so when do the dental benefits kick in?
Oh, good.
What's the start date, and is there a wait period? We've already made an appointment to have something done. Is there a wait period or any pre-existing condition issues or anything like that?
Very good. Very good.
There's 3 questions.
These benefits will have kicked in July 1st. Okay, so we're a little behind in terms of meeting, but that's okay. The benefits kicked in July 1st. What I would do if you've already scheduled an appointment, whatever, vision, dental, whatever, I would just contact that provider and confirm. Let them know, that now we do have, coverage through Better World Builders. Let them know that, I would check and see, make sure that they're participating, or you can look them up on the app. The vision is going to be the same way. I was just down there this morning. My wife, we've got the same vision plan as you guys, and she was, looking for a vision provider because it was new for us too. So yeah, look on that, make sure they're participating, and then you're good to go from there.
Okay.
You
So
don't-
it's
you don't-
immediately active.
It is, and they're gonna come in if you go to the dental provider, and they're gonna ask you if you have your dental card. Chances are you don't have anything like that. And really with Delta Dental, I don't know why that's such a tongue twister, is all you have to do is go in, give them your name, give them your social security number, they'll bill Delta Dental correctly. Okay?
You need to bring in that group number that's at the top here?
You could, it's not necessary, but it
Okay.
should be all
I
right.
want to inject something that I'll get out to all of you, is the group numbers and the information on Grove Street Advisors, so it's easy for you to get information and access them.
I think they're also in that thing we got in the mail. This thing here.
They got their
Those
vision,
numbers are
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah,
they
yeah.
got their vision in the mail.
The
But I
big,
still will do that as a courtesy to all of you in the summary page, so you have that at your fingertips.
the big thing when you're talking about the ancillary benefits like a dental plan or a vision plan, I think the vision plan IMED does provide identification card. I think you can request from Delta, but Delta's really got out of that. It's okay, you're on the system, you're in it, as long as you give that provider your name, social security number, they can look it up from there. We'll take the billing from there.
So
Yes,
okay. Yeah, cover.
Well,
I'm
no,
sorry,
you
go ahead.
can go
That's
first.
all right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm being off. Yeah, go ahead.
So I did a quick Google search and it looks like my dentist is a premier dentist, not a PPO dentist. Is there any benefit to switching to somebody who is PPO as opposed to premier? Would it change much?
No, where you're really going to see the change primarily is going to be with balanced billing over reasonable and customary. I know I'm getting into a lot of jargon there, but for the most part, as I said, with your dental plan, go to any dentist, anywhere, anytime, you're going to have coverage.
Mhm.
Bam. If they're a Delta Dental PPO dentist, the first layer, or even the Delta Dental a premier in general, there's not any balanced billing over reasonable and customary. What I mean is, a dentist may charge $100 to drill and fill that tooth of mine. And if they're a participating provider with Delta Dental, and maybe Delta's arranged a discount, and they're going to say, no, you can only charge $80. Well, that dentist then will say, well, that's $20 I'm out of pocket, I'm going to bill you directly. They can't do that if you see Delta Dental providers. If you see, my dentist does not participate with Delta Dental. So I'm always kind of getting balanced billed. It's usually not anything huge. They're still going to cover me at $180.50, and it's going to be a $50 deductible, but I may get balanced billed over that reasonable and customary. So
Okay.
yeah, seek out those Delta Dental providers.
So I should be good to stay with my dentist,
Yeah.
even though he's a premier
Yep,
instead of PPO. Okay,
it's still the same, benefit.
gotcha.
You just hopefully won't be balanced billed because he or she's Delta Dental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back here.
Okay, so my situation, I have a college sophomore and two under 18. They're covered as well, I'm assuming, in that plan? Is it?
They are.
I know the
Yeah,
under
we've
18s
got
are college
and
sophomore.
dependents. Because
Up to 26, I think we did stand.
Yep, I think,
Okay.
it was 26.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
Okay.
covered till 26.
Even if he's not enrolled?
It's
Are they- it's
Affordable
an
Care
age,
Act.
right?
I don't think
Okay.
Affordable
Let me-
Care
Okay.
Yeah, let me confirm that and make
He's
sure.
enrolled this year, but, it's like pulling teeth to get him to.
Pulling teeth.
Pun intended on that one. I'm gonna send you to the dentist, or you go to college. You get to decide.
Yeah, I'll confirm that and make sure. I know on the medical side, it is to 26. And I don't know if we took that right or not, to be honest with you. Right here, eligible sponsors, and the month they turn, okay. Oh, I was looking at the EHP, excuse me, yep. So yeah, it is, till age 26,
Okay.
they're covered. Looks like till the month. Yeah, the month, the end of the month in which they turn 26. Yeah. Now I'm going to get a little confusing. Page 3 on your handout, they refer to essential health benefits. EHB as we refer to it in our industry. Basically what that is now with the Affordable Care Act, the plans are to cover dependent children under 18. We were just talking about the ones up to 26, but there's a specific benefit for dependent children that are on your plan that are 18 and under, okay? It's supposed to coordinate with your health plan. So over 18 to 26, it's different than what we just talked about. That you can see the benefit plan design for the EHB for the ones that are kids under 18. And basically it's kind of a reverse benefit. So it's limited in terms of what it covers. But for the most part, if I had a 10-year-old that was on my plan and they needed dental benefits, they would have it. They can have it. It's going to work. But the first $350 is going to come out of my pocket. Okay?
So it's a $300 deductible on minors.
On under 18 for certain procedures. And that lays it out here in terms of the diagnostic, minor, and major.
Okay.
So once that's paid, it's covered at 100%. So it's a little bit different than what we were talking about those 18, I'll say 19 to 26-year-olds. They're covered under the same piece. But that is a benefit that is mandated through the Affordable Care Act. So there is coverage there for your dependent children. I know it gets kind of crazy, but it'll detail it on that third page. Okay? And then the other pages get into specific diagnostic codes. I wouldn't be too concerned about that. If you have questions, let us know. Give us a call. And if you have questions, let us know. Did I get your question that you had back there about dual coverage maybe, or no?
Well, I
You
guess
wanna talk about
it's
that
interesting
later?
because, I mean, vision and the dental side will be, how will they complement each other, or are they gonna conflict with each other? When I go to the dentist and I get my cleaning done, and I go to pay, are they gonna see that I have two different insurances, one under my mom, one under my company? What's gonna happen, kind of thing?
Good question. Yeah, nowadays we don't see a lot of dual coverage because it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So you're in a different situation because this is a benefit for you that the employer's paying for. So if you were paying for it and then you had coverage elsewhere, maybe you weren't paying for that, or maybe you were, we would talk to you about, is it really financially sound to have dual coverage and pay? In this particular case, it may be. You may be paying on your parents' plan. You may not be. I don't know, but we can talk more about that. But at this point, dual coverage, I would be showing them both of your cards or accessing both. And then they'll coordinate that. They'll coordinate the coverage. They usually go by the birthday rule, whoever's, birthday's first. But bottom line is, yeah, you might have dual coverage, and that could reduce your overall out-of-pocket. Okay. All right, that's dental. The next one gets into the vision piece. Okay. When I talk about these next three benefits, your vision, your short-term disability, and life, it's offered through a carrier called Mutual of Omaha. Quality carrier. You may have heard of them, you may not, but a very good carrier. This particular plan, as all the others like the dental, is starting again July 1st. Vision insurance, they'll give a chart here and how it's paid. Again, as you'll notice, it'll be to the far left, kind of a summary of the benefits. In the middle, say in-network cost, as we were talking about, and to the far right, out-of-network reimbursement. And I think, again, the same thing, just like your Delta Dental, make sure you're looking for providers that participate with Mutual of Omaha. And on that back page, again, same thing, an application you can put on your phone. You can simply look up providers. Sounds like some people have been doing that already. See who's participating, who's not. But look for providers that are participating with Mutual of Omaha / it's through IMED. And it's a very comprehensive list of providers, as I mentioned. And again, you'll get a better bang for your buck if you stay in network. For instance, the design of the plan and vision is we refer to as a 12-12-24, which means every single 12 months, once a year, you can have an eye exam. Okay? And it's a $10 copayment. That's it. As long as I stay in network, I better preface that. So look for providers that are in. It'd be a $10 exam copayment that you'd pay, and they'd provide that examination. If at that time you needed new lenses, or they're going to prescribe lenses, it's going to be covered again as those copayments. You can see how it's set up there. I've got basically a $25 copayment. And the list is different. Single vision, bifocal, trifocal. I know it gets into a lot of different details, but lenses are covered, or your prescription is covered every 12 months. The only thing that would be every 2 year, or every other year, every 2 years, every 24 months is my frames. So, yep, I get the eye exam, $10. I get lenses, whatever, $25. Then my frames, I've got an allowance up to $130 for the frames. And that's going to occur every 2 years. So make sure you like those frames, right? Contact lenses also covered. If it's medically necessary, no payment whatsoever. So basically, again, it's a 12-12-24. Every 12 months, I get an exam. If my prescription changes, that can be paid for through a simple copayment, and then my frames are going to be covered every 24 months. Okay. Any questions on the vision? Another good program. I know some people looks like they have glasses, some don't. Another great benefit that Better World's providing. So that's up again to them.
So safety glasses, that's not covered under this. That's still going to be separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mutual of Omaha does not cover that.
Yeah, so anyone who wears prescription glasses and will get safety glasses will work through separate outside of this program. We'll still pay for them, but they're not run through this program.
Any other questions on the vision? Pretty simple.
This
Yeah.
internal for all of it, is there like a lasting time it has, or does it just count whenever? Like,
The plan designs are set up on basically an annual basis, 12 months. So every 12 months, in terms of, is that what you were referring to or no?
I
Okay.
mean, like, including with the vision and, like, all of it, I guess. Is it, like, if you were to not use it for, like, a year, but then you want to use it the next year, is it still open?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All of you are covered
Okay.
on the plan, unless you tell us different. You know, you tell them, no, I don't want this dental plan. I don't want the vision, right? And I don't mean to joke. There could be dual coverage, or for whatever reason, and that's okay. But no, the concept is, it's there if you need it. You may not need it this year or next year, but maybe down the road you might. I mean, that's really what insurance is all about, right? So there's nothing you need to do unless there's I would say like a life change. Maybe you get married. Maybe you have a child. Something like that. Maybe, if there's a life change, just let Roxanne know, and then that will, the coverage would be modified. At this particular point in time, we have it set up and designed for whatever your elections were at the time of open enrollment. If any of that changes, add, term, whatever it may be, then we'll make those changes. But yeah, if you don't use it this year, that's okay. You still have it. It's down the road. Okay? When you start talking about the other insurances, like the life insurance, hopefully you won't be needing that, or even the disability. And that's the next one, is the short-term disability. So if you want to turn to that handout, yes, sir?
I guess this is for like you and Mark particularly. It's prenatal, anywhere in the vision, anywhere down the road.
That may be down the road, yes, you know, right? That's a piece, that's our second thing that we're looking at having, possibly working on toward this fall.
Okay. Yeah, my fiance is due February.
Okay.
Yeah, this is at this point is, you know, pretty much the dental, the vision, and then
Okay.
the life and disability. So short-term disability, the next great benefit being offered to you here is really what I refer to as kind of income replacement. Meaning if you're not able to collect a paycheck due to a sickness or due to an injury, you know, you had surgery and you can't work, you know, you still have rent payments, you still have car payments, you still have, you gotta put, you know, food on the table. That's what short-term disability will cover, will provide you with pre-disability earnings. Now the design of the plan, and this is a very standard plan if you look on here, it says benefit percentage at 60%. What that means, if you go out because you're sick or because you had, you know, surgery, you can't work, you can't get your paycheck, they're going to pay, Mutual of Omaha will pay you 60% of your pre-disability earnings while you're home, recuperating, doing whatever. I think the big thing here is it's just that, to kind of help you through a hard time. That's why it's at 60%, not 100. If I'm sitting at home getting 100% of my pay, there's probably no incentive for me to come back to work. So in disability plans, it's a percentage of your pre-disability earnings, and this is a very standard one. You'd collect 60% of your pre-disability earnings. A maximum benefit of $1,000, and it's set up with, if you have an accident, it's a 0-day elimination period, which means if you had an accident and you blew out your knee and you couldn't work, that's going to pay immediately, okay? If it's an illness or a sickness, that's going to pay after a week, after 7 days. So on your 8th day, they'll start paying out a benefit on that. And it is a weekly benefit that short-term disability pays out. The benefit duration is 13 weeks, so you'd have at least 13 weeks of coverage, okay? So 60% of your pre-disability earnings, up to $1,000 a week, depending on your earnings. First day accident, 8th day illness for a 13-week duration. Again, another great benefit that they're providing. Yes, sir.
Is this going to be in lieu of or along with workers' comp? It says work-related.
Yeah, work-related, this would not come into play. You can't get the double benefit there. So if it's work-related, and it's work comp, and you're getting paid, then this would not kick in. Yeah, good question. Good
But
question.
if you were at home on the weekend and you were doing some work in the house, you fell off a ladder and you broke your arm, okay, you weren't working for Better World Builders, so there's no worker comp claim there. But if you have to, you know, we can't use you also if you have a broken arm, so that's where the short-term disability can kick into play. So, yeah, so even when you're not at work, we're still trying to look out for you and saying, hey. You know.
Non-work related, you betcha, yeah. Sometimes someone will have a surgery, you know, a knee, even a pregnancy is considered a short-term disability. So, I mean, it doesn't apply to you guys, but for the most part, I mean, it's non-work related. Good point, good question.
So, if we have another short-term disability policy, would that cancel this one out, or is that? I mean, if it's something we're paying for outside of this plan,
So like an individual short-term disability policy?
dual
Yeah.
insurance,
Yeah, it really, this would not this would not have any problem with coordination. I don't know what the contract states on individual policy that you may have.
Right.
I've seen them say, depending on the carrier, they won't coordinate. This plan I wouldn't be concerned about. They do coordinate with individual policies. So if you have an individual policy, it shouldn't be an issue from Mutual Omaha's perspective. I just don't know your contract language on your individual
Yeah,
one,
if
if
we
they would
wanted-
exclude it or
yeah.
not.
If we wanted just to get some additional insurance, that would be on top of this.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. And if you have that policy and you want us to take a look at it, we'd be more than happy to.
Kind of like Aflac, is that what you're thinking?
No, it's through my wife's insurance.
Yeah, good point. Aflac technically isn't an insurance policy. It's a paid out. It's an indemnity. You know, I break my finger, I get, you know, whatever that payout is. I break my wrist, it's a bigger payout. I break my arm, it's a bigger payout. That's different than insurance, and they're going to be fine with this policy, and they pay out either way. So they'll coordinate. Since that's but when you're talking about a specific insurance policy and an individual short-term disability policy versus a group policy, my group policy has no problem. They'll coordinate. I just don't know what your individual policy states. So, but again, another great benefit: income replacement if you're not able to work due to a sickness or an injury, non-work related. Okay. Any questions? Yes.
What would the maximum benefit be right at its maximum? Or how does that work? Is it 13 weeks, that's the maximum, or is it per week, or how does that work?
It's so you're going to have 60% of your pre-disability earnings to a maximum. They won't pay more than $1,000 per week.
Okay.
For 13 weeks. Okay, that's the duration of the.
So it's not like $1,000 13 weeks. It's per week.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yeah. Basic life insurance and AD&D insurance. Another great benefit. Now keep in mind with life insurance, and again, thank you very much. This is a benefit for you. Peace of mind. With life insurance, it's not all about you. The policy's on you. It's about your beneficiary. If you were to pass, you're going to get your beneficiary is going to get one-time salary up to $100,000 of a payout. Okay? Which is great. It's a very nice benefit. So yeah, the benefit is one-time salary to $100,000 guaranteed issue. A great benefit. Again, it's if something was to happen to you where you were to pass, that you still may have bills to pay. You may and you don't want to leave that for loved ones. Whoever you designate. It could be a family member, it could be a spouse, it could be a trust, it could be a number of different things there. But think that through and make sure you adjust accordingly. The AD&D, accidental death and dismemberment. I know it sounds kind of crude, but if you were, let's just say I make $30,000 a year here, and I was to pass on this policy, my beneficiary would receive the $30,000. If I was to pass during an accident, it was an accidental death, I'd get what they refer to as double indemnity. I'd get double payment. So it'd be $30,000 for the life insurance policy, and if it was deemed accidental death, I'd get another $30,000. My beneficiary.
Up to $100,000 though, right?
No, it's based off your salary. So like I said, whatever your salary, if I make $150,000 here a year, I'm only going to get a $100,000 benefit. So that's the cap, the $100,000. But don't worry about doubling that up. I mean, that's going to pay anyways. So again, if it's accidental death, it's going to pay double. Okay. And when I talk about dismemberment, there's an actual whole graph in terms of like if maybe I lose a finger, maybe I lose a hand, maybe I lose an eye. There's payouts for the dismemberment as well. I still may be alive, but I lost an eye. And basically a payout. It doesn't give the details on this, but it's in the contract. For instance, if I'm hearing you right, so you've got short-term disability, and you've got a life with AD&D, and let's say you lose a finger, right?
And you have to take time off.
So so now I'm not able to work, so the short-term disability would kick in, right? And if it was deemed, the dismemberment and it followed the protocol, you could get paid out for that as well. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
As long as you didn't do it at work.
Yeah.
Right.
So what about a heart attack though? You were gonna.
Yeah, so I was giving the example, so I die of a heart attack. I mean, again, the accidental death and dismemberment is part of your life insurance. So if it's deemed accidental, then you'd get another payout. Dismemberment, again, if there's something that happened and you lost a limb, if you will, or an eye, that paid out differently.
We will be getting from all of you, and I don't know if I have the form at my fingertips, Kevin, to get the beneficiaries.
the travel assistance on the basic term life, is that like assistance with traveling your vessel, your body? Or what kind of travel assistance?
Travel assistance is really, the way it's set up now is, I believe it's, if you travel 100 miles from your residence. So a lot of times if I'm on vacation, they don't even care about that. If it's 100 miles from where you reside and you need some assistance. So for instance, what they'll cover is I'm on vacation in Florida or whatever, and I lose my medication and I need meds. They can help me with getting and securing my medication. I need assistance in maybe, my wife breaks her ankle and she needs to, be seen. They can help me get providers and doctors when I'm not around. They kind of got rid of the vacation piece and said, listen, if you're traveling, 100 miles from your residence, that this will qualify. So they can help you out. Yeah. Yes,
So
sir.
out of any of these packages, besides co-pays, is there anything out of pocket?
Your life insurance, no, there's nothing there. Your short-term disability, really, there's nothing there. I would just focus on that chart for the dental and for your vision. In the copay, to answer your question, other than the copayments, not really. I mean, it's designed where you have simple copayments. Now, again, if I go out of network, that may be different, because that out of network doctor for the vision or the dentist will say, no, I don't do co-payments, I'm not participating. So it could be we refer to it as co-insurance, a percentage. Instead of paying 80% for that cavity, it might pay 50%. So, from that perspective. But focus on those in-network providers as much as you can. That's going to save you the best in terms of your overall expenses. But for the most part, no, those categories will show you, what would come out of your pocket. And it's basically simple co-payments.
And the company's paying for 100% of the premiums, so there's nothing that's coming out of your check for any of these benefits. So that's all company paid. When we start to go, if we start to go into the health insurance world, then it's a much different world. And so,
We're hired.
it's higher, and it's more confusing, it's a lot more convoluted. And we'll be seeing Kevin a lot more.
Yeah.
But we're gonna, this is kind of one step at a time. We want to get this going because I think this is a nice, really nice key benefits that I think a lot of folks could take advantage of.
There's one other thing I'd like to mention is eligibility. And you have to work for Better World Builders as a full-time employee, which is 30 hours per week or more, for at least 30 days. Your coverage starts on the first of the month after 30 days of service. So if I started on January 15th, I would have all of this coverage on March 1st.
Great. Okay. So our two new guys who just started recently, are they still effective July
I'm
1st?
sitting here without a brain because I don't have a computer in front of me.
Okay.
So that's why I really wanted
Yeah.
to mention it, but because everyone else, of course, just
Has been here.
been here for quite a while.
Yeah.
Um,
So you guys
First
may,
month
worst
on
case
30
scenario,
days.
you would be starting
Yeah,
August
first of the
1st.
month following 30 days of service. The terminology on what we signed is even better than that, because it's always kind of a weird thing to explain, but, yeah. But, if you were hired on, your first day of work was October 1st, you would have insurance, all of this, on November 1st, because you will have worked 30 days in the month of October, because it's a 31-day month.
She's good.
No.
Don't come in February, because that's a screwy month.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't win in February, but the 31-day months, on the first day of the month is the anomaly.
Yep, for sure. I'm sure you have more to talk about. I've got a few things to follow up on. I'll get those over to you. If contact information in particular, of course, and we'll look into the other contract language. If any questions come up, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.